Hello, welcome back. This is Jill Blanchette with Green Thumb Stampers. I'm here for my third card for the Fun in the Sun paper pumpkin kit that we have for July of 2023. Here's the card that I created. Let me show you how to make this. Stick that over here. We have an 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece of Poppy Parade. Fold that or score it at 4 1/4. I have a lemon lime twist that is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 that we can just go ahead and glue on. Watch my border. Try not to stick it down too much till I'm ready. And then we're going to work on a 4 inch by 5 1/4 inch piece of basic white. So I'm going to go ahead and get my colors out. We're going to start with Flirty Flamingo, making up our background. And I've got a blender brush, and I used the same blender brush for like all the variety of colors, so you won't really see me changing the brushes too much, but I'm just going to go along here. I want this kind of dark. See if I can, and I'm going to go up a little way. Keep putting some color down till it's as dark as you want it. And I am going up a little bit, and I will blend in the next color to that. And I'm going to stop right there. I'll leave that open. We can come back to that. The next color I'm going to go up is Calypso Coral. I'm trying to lay my brush on slowly and softly, so that I'm blending those colors together. And I'm going to try and pull in a little of that Flirty Flamingo again. All right, I'm getting up there. I'm going to pull in a little bit of Petal Pink. Clean my brush out a little bit. I don't want that the dark in there too much if I can help it. So I'm just going to fill in a little bit with Petal Pink. All right, let's move that over there. Then I've got Daffodil Delight. Just going over the top of everything I got there. Making a sunset, trying to make the little sunset look from the last card that we did. Trying to replicate this somewhat. And take that down a little bit into my other colors, clean out my brush some. And then I've got crushed curry, and I'm only going to try and dab that a little bit up at the top. I don't want the dark too much down into my daffodil. to call that good. You can do as much or as little as you'd like. I'm going to call that good. Close all these up before I end up wearing them now. I've got the Gentle Waves stamp set again in this card, this one. I'm going to use that on another piece of envelope that's left, and if you could see close enough, this is where the flap folded, and that's okay. I'm going to use as much as I can without wasting more envelopes. So this, I think I used 2 envelopes for all of the cards, because the first card used almost a whole envelope, so probably did use a whole envelope except for the flap. So I'm just trying to utilize, and we're going to cover this score line up with the sand, so we'll be good. So I'm going to set this on there and make us some more waves, water on our beach. I think I'm done with that. And then we're going to glue that right down at the bottom of the card. So I'm going to put that down here. And then I've got the surfboards. And I'm going to put that right up to the edge like that and hang that over. So I'm going to go ahead and start assembling. This piece was a little bit larger. Oh, I forgot to. So let's go from this edge over. I was going to look and see how much of my water was showing, so that's a good amount. Like I said, I was down to using up the last little bit of the envelope for this card and a little bit that I needed for the next card. So I was really hoping that I had left enough, and I did. So I trimmed that off. Then I'm going to go ahead and glue the sand on flat, but I'm going to pop up my surfboards. So I'm just going to put a few random spots of dimensional on the back to help keep the surfboards a little bit up. I don't need to go too crazy with the dimensional, and then because I want to make sure my surfboards are over far enough away from the edge. I got a little blue on there. I'm going to put them right up to the, well, actually, because I got a little splotch on there I don't like, I'm going to go over just far enough to cover up that tiny little blue spot I had on there. Then I'll glue those down, stick them down, and then again, turn it over and trim off the excess. Then this piece is going to glue flat onto our lemon lime twist. Whoops. And again, I'm on the 8th, so it's pretty tight to fit those on there. I might go ahead and just snip off a little teeny weeny bit just so it fits better for me on there. We can always make it smaller, but we can't make it bigger, so start out with where it looks like the 8th. A lot of times if you're using a embossing folder. I've said before, you know, the embossing folder could shrink your paper a little bit, so you're always better off making sure things are a little bit bigger than what you want them so that you can nip them down. All right, so then we've got that loaded on there. We have one of the cute little signs from the kit, and I'm going to put the Relax, You Deserve It on there. And I did do that in Calypso Coral. I'm finding that this white thing I got out to stamp on the other day, it's got a grain to it, so I am finding that it's causing me a little bit of grief on the pattern when I go to stamp down, but I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll change it up. And so this one is one that I did come in and cut off this little edge of white here, just on the sand. I wanted it to flow a little better. And I think I did it on my deserted island too, and I forgot to tell you guys that. If you watched that video. Pretty sure I cut off the border too so that it flowed a little better. So now I glued that flat, and I'm going to pop up the back of the sign. So we're going to put a little bit of adhesive on the bottom. I'm going to put a dimensional on the top. Like that. Then I have a piece from the kit that had the sandals, a die cut of the sandals, or flip-flops, I guess, if you want to call them flip-flops. And I just glued those flat. And then the sunglasses I popped up a little bit. So I'll put a little dimensional on the back of half, and I glued half down. And there you have it. I got a white piece for the inside. And then we can stamp whatever on it. Use one of the die cuts on it. I'm gonna glue it in plain. And when I'm all done, I think I'm gonna put flip-flops inside if I still have enough flip-flops left from my kit. I'm gonna put some flip-flops down here. There we go. There's our third card.